Good evening and welcome to Vibrant Hong Kong. I'm Mishi.
And I'm Erica. Good evening, everyone.
The opening ceremony for the Paris 2024 Olympic Games will take place in just a few hours. Be sure to stay tuned to RTHK TV 32 to witness the spectacular proceedings. Games Wide Open is the slogan for this year's Olympics and Paralympics. And according to the president of Paris 2024, Tony Estanguet, it's an invitation to the world to come and experience new emotions together. It's also a statement that empowers us to open our hearts and minds to stop seeing differences as obstacles.
Contrary to tradition, this year's opening ceremony will be held not at a stadium, but on the iconic sand. More than 200 delegations made up of over 10,000 athletes will travel by boat down a stretch of the river with various performances taking place along the way. It's an unprecedented extravaganza you won't want to miss.
An independent study conducted by a French university estimated that the Games could generate between 6.7 and 11.1 billion euros in net economic benefits for the Paris region. This positive impact is expected to revolve around tourism, construction, and the organization of the Olympics.
Hosting large-scale sports competitions is indeed one way for a city to bring in significant revenue, and the industrialization of sports is one of the key strategies of Hong Kong's current sport policy. In addition to holding tournaments, it also involves the organization of international sports forums and trade fairs, such as the Hong Kong Sports and Leisure Expo.
The stellar performance of our local athlete has cast a spotlight on the immense business opportunities. HKTDC held the Hong Kong Sports and Leisure Expo from July 17th to 23rd, presenting a variety of sports and leisure products and experiences for visitors to enjoy.
We are observing an increasing trend of a healthy urban lifestyle among all the Hong Kong citizens. According to Euromonitor, the total sportswear retail value in 2023 exceeded more than 21 billion Hong Kong dollars. You can find a lot of smart fitness equipment and also some functional sportswear and fashionable sportswear, which is getting very popular also in the Sports and Leisure Expo.
The growing popularity of sports doesn't only translate into greater revenues generated from ticket sales, broadcast rights, and sponsorships, but also the increased consumption of sports-related products and services, thereby benefiting the sports industry as a whole.
At the Leisure and Sports Expo, you can also find a lot of increasing trends in the sports industry. One of our exhibitors are trying to use our expo as a test market platform for its new product called a mini gym. One of our exhibitors are using AI technology to do Tai Chi. We have a very good variety of activities for not only the Hong Kong average families and also the citizens of Hong Kong, but also the Greater Bay Area, as well as the tourists coming into Hong Kong.
Elite athletes play an indispensable role in driving the sports industry. The Sports Plus Elite Athletes Community Program Roving Exhibition, organized with the support of the Hong Kong Jockey Club Charities Trust, advocates the positive values of sports and builds momentum for the upcoming Olympics. Despite the imminent arrival of the Games, Hong Kong China's youngest swimming representative at this edition of the Olympics, 17-year-old Cindy Cheung, still took time out to make an appearance. She believes that being able to interact with the public up close before departing for Paris is a perfect opportunity to promote sports.
Despite still having hard training, I think it's important for citizens everywhere, like in Hong Kong, to know that what we're up to, how the preparations are going, and I think it is to get them more interested in showing support for us athletes.
Nowadays, athletes have to shine in the sporting arena as well as the limelight. Cindy recognizes the importance of these commercial opportunities.
I'm currently only doing photo shoots for equipment, so I think it's not really that commercial yet, but I'll be more than willing to participate in these kinds of commercials because I think it'll certainly be more eye-opening to people, since I think sports is such an interesting thing for people to look into. Yeah, it's a really important industry.
I do have a sports brand and insurance brands sponsoring me. It really gives me more motivation to be a better athlete because their support means a big recognition of my career success.
sport industrialization and forging Hong Kong into a major international sports events hub go hand in hand. In May this year, the Hong Kong-China men's fencing team won a historic gold medal in the men's foil team event of the FIE Foil World Cup on home turf. One of its members, Ryan Chui, believes that athletes tend to perform better with the support of a home crowd. Moreover, a higher quota is often allocated to the host, which gives more local athletes the chance to experience world-class competitions.
This year we are able to host an World Cup event in Hong Kong. And this is kind of a big recognition of the world to Hong Kong's strength in fencing. So this helps us to gain more experiences and have more chances to fight with stronger opponents. So I think this will definitely help us to get better results.
The exceptional achievements of our local athletes at various international competitions in recent years have led to a sports craze, and it has been suggested that Hong Kong should take advantage of this opportunity to further promote sport industrialization.
Apart from developing sports in an industry, promoting sports in the community, supporting elite sports, promoting Hong Kong as a center for major international sports events, and enhancing professionalism are also part of the government's current sports policy. This five-pronged approach is geared to not only drive the local development of sports, but also foster a love of sports among people from all walks of life. Now, tonight we've invited Professor Patrick Lau from the Hong Kong Baptist University's Department of Sports, Physical Education and Health, as well as Kenny Wong, a major sports events organizer, to share their insights with us. Welcome to our show.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Now, Professor Lau, when it comes to the local sports scene, most of us tend to focus on the performance of our athletes. So could you begin by telling us what exactly is sport industrialization and how will it benefit Hong Kong?
Yes, based on the academic, the definition of sport industry refers to the manufacturing of sport goods, service, ideas with business, media, and policies. And its objective is to try to maximize the benefit and impact of sport, but go beyond sport itself to economic and social aspects. So when we look at the past decades, how Hong Kong launched from the first gold medal to the second gold medal in Olympics, then we have very strong and solid foundation to start the product extension that the sport itself produce. And those advantage relate to the business, like the hotel business, transportation, airlines, retails, tourism. All this can produce a lot of employment opportunities.
Now, Kenny, I know that your company recently organized the FIBA 3x3 World Tour in Hong Kong. So in your opinion, how important is sport industrialization to the future development of basketball? And what are the advantages of developing sports as an industry in Hong Kong?
It can be let more people to know that developing of basketball, not only for the game players and the sport lovers, but also can attract more and other people to join it, to develop together. Okay. The second question is developing the sport industry in Hong Kong. It can be create more new job opportunities. And on the other hand, I think it might be a new motivation for the Hong Kong economy.
So that really echoes what Professor Lau said. It's really about connecting all the different industries and different populations.
Yes, agree. I understand that the sportainment is a key element in the events organized by your company. For example, you hold carnivals or set up game booths outside the venue. So why did you decide to adopt this strategy?
Because we want to attract more people to join our events, not only the game players, audience, and the staff of the event, but also the people come just only for the leisure, because we think they will love our event after the experience, and they will come again next time.
Sportainment is basically a new term in recent years. In the past, sport is viewed and considered as a pure activities, competitions for those good at sport abilities. But right now, the sport industry is looking into and explore the bigger market that everybody can play everybody can enjoy those moments. So in this case, sport is not viewed as a pure competition activities, but this is something very good for everybody.
Kenny, as a sports event organizer, you've negotiated with various sports federations around the world to hold international events such as the FIBA 3x3 World Tour in Hong Kong. Now, what are some of the challenges in the bidding process?
In the beginning, FIBA charged Hong Kong not enough the experience to host the international event. But I showed some example and case to them. Hong Kong have so many great concert and other international event, like such as financial event. And then I combine all the element to them and show the facts to them. And also I want to add the sport and entertainment together. So they trust me, Hong Kong can do it.
Wow, I mean, congratulations on presenting a very convincing case on behalf of Hong Kong. Now, what's the significance of winning the FIBA 3x3 World Tour bid to Hong Kong? And what has our city gained from hosting this specific event?
It provides a chance to show everybody we can do it well, not only the sport tournament, and can show Hong Kong is a mega event city. FIBA 3x3 World Tour is the first event in basketball in Hong Kong, and I think more basketball event will become a major event in future.
Well, I'm sure it's a milestone in the history of, hosting mega events in Hong Kong, and it really helps boost the international reputation of the city as well.
Now, I know that the East Asian Games were held in Hong Kong in 2009, and our city will be co-hosting the National Games of Guangdong and Macau next year. Now, Professor Lau, do you think Hong Kong has what it takes to be the host for the Asian Games or even the Olympics so that it can further promote sports industrialization? And what are some considerations that need to be taken into account?
Hong Kong has tried to beat the Asian Games. We lost to Doha. The second one, due to the huge budget internally, it doesn't go out for the bidding. I believe we are definitely have for another bid for Asian Games. But I think we need to take it progressively. The scale and the approach of all the preparation management technologies, we have that. So I believe we should take the Youth Olympic Games first. And then we step up into another level of the Asian Games. We need to learn the new lessons of the technology, the green environment, everything. Paris Olympic is trying to do so, but it seems could be a little bit tough. But what I'm saying is, Hong Kong is located in the best place. We have the Greater Bay Area. And we are going to host this National Games next November with Macau and Guangdong province. I believe this is the right strategy that we combine and synergize all the resources with these two neighboring regions. Hong Kong can do it with lower budget, better result.
So Kenny, what are your key takeaways from organizing the FIBA 3x3 World Tour? And are you considering bidding for more international competitions down the line?
After the FIBA 3x3 World Tour, it proved Hong Kong sport industry is work, and also the entertainment and sport combined to sportainment, it also work. Another good news I want to announce here, we will host the FIBA 3x3 Hong Kong final this year.
Oh, wow, big congratulations.
Our success is pioneering and encouraging more sport sector to bid more mega event. And I'm looking for more mega events to be hosted in Hong Kong.
That's really some good news. Now, for the local sports scene to thrive, it's been suggested that we shouldn't rely heavily on government funding. That's a perspective we've heard. Now, Professor Lau, how do you think the government and industry should work together to achieve that right balance?
I don't suggest the government directly give the money to the business or the athletes. This is not the way we nurture the business, the industry. So government should produce a 5-year plan. So with every 5-year plan, we have the short, mid-term, and longer-term strategy. And then the government should be able to ensure all the key stakeholders to work together, especially with the Greater Bay Area. I believe in the long term, sport industry will be a major industry in Hong Kong, but it must include and work with the Greater Bay Area. And I see the international components of Hong Kong is unique. Nobody can replace Hong Kong, but we need to work optimistically, positively, with energy.
Now, lastly, Kenny, what are your thoughts on the future of sports industrialization in Hong Kong?
Let me give an example. NBA. This tournament is started from 1946, and then trend to success, have a steady income in 1986. Okay, that show that sport industry is a slow business. We must to do it, put the effort to do it step by step. So as a organizer of the event in Hong Kong, I want the government provide more platform to everybody, maybe a young guy, children, or some people love the sport, to do it together, and then let them experience the success or loss, and then they will have a more experience, and then will do very best to in future.
Well, we really got to start early then. Thank you very much, Kenny and Professor Lau, for sharing your expert opinions on sports industrialization.
The sports industry isn't only limited to event management, but includes other business activities such as tech development and merchandise sales. Meanwhile, the food sector is just as multifaceted. Apart from production and processing, food safety has also become an indispensable part of the modern food system. A group of graduates from the City University of Hong Kong have developed a touchless solution for detecting the freshness of food.
The best before or expiry date label on a food item serves as an indicator of its freshness. However, the best before date is only a suggestion, and it is up to consumer to decide if they should eat or drink the product which has passed the date. What's more, how food is manufactured, stored and transported also affects its quality. So is there any way of knowing whether a product is safe to consume or not? Hello, Giselle. I know that your company has developed a smart food label. So what information does it tell us?
Smart food label is a paper-based label. It's easily to biodegradable, and we have added the biogenic amine sensing technology inside. So the green chemosensor ink can react with the biogenic amine, which is one of the biomarker for the scientists to identify the food freshness. After the reaction, the green chemosensor ink will react to change the color to orange color. It means the food has already spoiled.
So how do you use it?
The user just only prepare the crisper box, and you have to punch a hole on the cover of the box. And after that, you just tap on the surface of the cover. We can test the chicken, beef, or some seafood, or some vegetarian meat products, soy products.
Giselle says that compared with traditional food testing, this real-time monitoring tool not only saves time but also money, as the food label now costs less than $1 Hong Kong. Today, I've come to a vegetarian restaurant with Giselle to help them test their fridge inventory. Hello, Howard. Thank you for having the interview with us. How long have you been trying this smart food label, and what's the result?
Our restaurant have been using the smart food label for almost a month. From the preparations of the ingredients to the cooking, and how long we can keep the ingredients for the buffet, particularly for the ingredients such as high protein vegetarian ingredients, such as tofu, mushroom, and with the Smart Food label, now that can give us a very good indication that we can use it for 3 to 4 days more. With the trial of 1 month, the kitchen's team already saved 10% of the food ingredients, and that 10% is equivalent to 100 kilograms.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot, yes.
Before having these labels, how did you differentiate the food, like whether they should be thorough or not?
We really rely very much on the chef decisions or chef taste, sometimes by visual, sometimes by the smell, but this is too subjective.
With the kitchen staff being curious about this Smart Food label program?
At the very beginning of this trial, our kitchen staff always curious or doubtful about the extended shelf life until the ingredients we are using the Smart Food label in the restaurants are also being tested in the laboratory environment for the bacterial count, formal shelf life testing. And this gives us at least 2 weeks laboratory testing plus the Smart Food label indication. This correlation experiment gives us high confidence that both the Smart Food label indication and the food laboratory experiment results match each other. And this is how the kitchen staff were so surprised that sometimes they throw certain ingredients earlier than they need to throw them, with the actual quality.
So the numbers do tell the result, right?
Exactly.
Under the current trial phase, Giselle visits the restaurant a few times a week to obtain food samples and bring them back to the lab for testing. Her team will study the bacteria count to explore the possibility of further extending the ingredients' shelf life depending on the storage conditions.
In this moment, we think that actually we need to spend some time to educate the public. The expiry date is reference only because this kind of concept is quite new and innovative for Hong Kong public.
This food label is still in testing phase, and the team is looking for different partners to enable its widespread application in the food industry. We may have another tool to help us make judgments about food safety in the near future.
Mishi, our athletes had gone from strength to strength at various world-class competitions in recent years. So here's a question for you. Do you know when Hong Kong took part in the Olympics for the first time?
Well, I know that windsurfer Li Laishan won Hong Kong's first ever Olympic gold medal at the Atlanta 1996 Games, but I have absolutely no idea about the answer to your question.
Our city actually made its Olympic debut at the Helsinki 1952 Games, with 4 athletes competing in 6 swimming events. Since then, Hong Kong has been represented at 16 more editions of the Summer Olympics, winning a total of 9 medals. The delegation brought home 1 gold, 2 silvers, and 3 bronzes from Tokyo 2020 alone.
Table tennis players Li Ho-ching, Du Hui-Kim and Minnie Su successfully defeated Germany to claim bronze in the women's team event at the Tokyo Games. With Minnie Su out of action due to injury, Zhu Chengzhu will be coming off the bench this year. The Hong Kong-China Table Tennis Association held a send-off for the team last week.
The opening ceremony of the highly anticipated Paris Olympics will take place shortly after midnight on July 27th Hong Kong time, with a table tennis event commencing on the first day of the competition. The Hong Kong-China Table Tennis Association has organized a prep rally to cheer on our local representatives before the departure. The Hong Kong-China table tennis team clinched the bronze medal in the women's team event at Tokyo 2020. This time, the trio of Du Hui-Kim, Li Ho-ching, and up-and-comer Zhu Jingzhu stand a good chance of achieving another great result in this event. Du Hui-Kim had to withdraw from World Table Tennis Contender M in 2023 in February last year due to an elbow injury. With her recovery not progressing as expected, she once considered retiring. Fortunately, she eventually got back on her feet and secured a spot at the Paris Olympics. She describes the qualification process as the toughest challenge of her career.
今次的確係我職業生涯入邊最大嘅一個傷患啦，而且係好困擾我啦，因為的確係呢個受傷呢個位置，每一下擊球都會好強烈咁樣感覺到嗰種痛楚啦。其實上一屆我哋喺團體嗰度攞到銅牌啦，咁的確係一個奇蹟嚟嘅。所以去到今屆嘅時候，都係盡量將自己嗰啲期望去盡量去清到最低，將自己位置放得最低，去搏住對手打，對於我哋嚟講會比較好。
Hong Kong's top male paddler Wong Chun-ting will be partnering with Du Hoi Kim to compete in the mixed doubles event. Medal hopes are also high for this pair, who lost to the French duo in the quarterfinals at Tokyo 2020. He'll be bringing his A game in a bid to fulfill his dream of winning an Olympic medal.
最近嘅比賽啦，我同阿杜亦都喺溝通上面加強咗好多啦。有啲遇到啲咩問題，盡量都去講出嚟，大家傾，希望可以揾到一個直接解決嘅方法咁樣咯。自己亦都年齡比較大啦，話最後一屆嘅奧運係因為4年後，亦都大家都唔知發生咩事啦。當然，如果真係有機會，我又 keep 到有呢個比賽嘅強度、比賽嘅水平可以保持得到嘅話，咁我亦都會希望可以繼續去參加啦，係。另外我希望可以小朋友真係有機會可以嚟現場啊，或者喺電視度可以睇到爸爸去打奧運。
China won the men's singles, women's singles, men's team, and women's teams event at the previous games. The Chinese table tennis team is undoubtedly a force to be reckoned with, and more than capable of making a clean sweep of all 5 titles this year.
係抽籤咯，咁另外咧就係喺單打方面，可能有機會喺第2輪啊或者第3輪先有機會碰得到啦。咁我希望最好唔好碰到啦，如果碰到嘅話，希望喺決賽見。咁大家都最高興。最緊要係線路一定要精準咯。咁第二個你喺喺一啲短板方面咧，我哋盡量係平穩過渡，同埋減少無謂失誤啦。咁我作為教練嚟講，我當然係個壓力俾晒我啦，係咪？咁我希望啲球員會輕鬆去上陣啦，同埋有好嘅發揮啦。
The members and coaching staff of our table tennis team will head to Paris 5 days before the start of the games. Their priority upon arrival is to acclimatize to the competition venue. Remember to check out daily live broadcasts on RTHK TV 32 to cheer on our local athletes. Let's wish them the very best as they compete to bring home medals.
I'm sure that all of you, like us, are looking forward to seeing our athletes make personal breakthroughs at the Paris Olympics. Apart from watching live coverage on RTHK TV 32, remember that the games will also be broadcast at designated LCSD sports centers throughout the 18 districts, as well as various major shopping malls, restaurants, and bars.
That's right, Mishi. And the excitement doesn't stop there, as the Paris Paralympics will take place shortly after the August 28th. Our para-athletes are diligently preparing for battle as we speak. And we've invited Dr. John Leung, chef de mission of the Hong Kong China delegation to the Paris Paralympic Games, to give us the latest updates. Welcome to Vibrant Hong Kong.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now, John, the Paris Paralympics are about a month away, so how are you feeling right now? And what are your hopes for the delegation as its chef de mission?
I'm excited and full of anticipation to the coming games. You can see that the athletes are hard work, their determination and resilience, which is touched me a lot. And I do hope that they can try their best. And the medal are important, but more importantly, it is a platform for all the athletes to show their determination and their spirit of the Hong Kong China.
Now, I know that para-badminton and wuxia are strong suits. So has the delegation set any particular goals for this year's games? And are there any events where our athletes might have a chance of winning a medal?
You're right that the para-badminton and wuxia are our strong suits, and we do have 1 or 2 world number 1. And because their efforts and these 2 events are very strong in Hong Kong. I do hope that they can keep their performance and
try their best and win the medal for us. Because we get a good preparation this time, we do have other new events coming up, just like the swimming, the para swimming. Therefore, our estimation this time would be the number of medals will be higher than last time. One thing I would like to point out is sometimes we focus on the number of medals in Paralympic Games, but in the Paralympic movement and the Paralympic sports, we do have other games that are not included in the Paralympics. Bowlings, para bowlings, and also the long bowls. We have the long bowls at least world #1, but long bowl are not included in the Paralympic. Therefore, this is something what we call, or what we perceive is a misnomer. The misnomer is, and I hope the public can understand more about the Paralympic sports, and they know that some of our athletes are out of the Paralympic game, the range.
I mean, I think it's very important to expand our perspective and understand that the Olympics is a very traditional sports event. So not all sports are included. Maybe there are some niche ones that are strong suits, but they're just, you know, featured in a different arena. So it's very important to change the perspective of the public when it comes to counting the medals. Now, the Hong Kong SAR sent 95 athletes to compete in 11 events at the 4th Asian Para Games in Hangzhou last year. And they came home with 8 golds, 15 silvers, and 24 bronzes. So how do you think their experience at the Asian Para Games will help them at the Paris Paralympics?
It's important because we got good results in the Hangzhou Asia Paralympic Games. We found some very young athletes who have very good performance, just like the para swimming and also the table tennis, para table tennis. Therefore, after they accumulated the experience and also after the subsequent training, I was expecting they have a better performance in the coming Paris game.
So with better support, there comes better performance.
Yes.
Right. So how are the athletes' preparation going right now? And with just a month to go, are they more focused on mental conditioning rather than the physical training?
Their preparation is more than usual. It's intense. It's very intense preparation. The preparation can be multifaceted and multi-perspective because the athlete have to prepare themselves in technical skill. And our Secretariat office also have to prepare all the support to them, just like the medical, just like the other supports. Yeah.
I can just only imagine how stressful that could be. You know, all the eyes, the world is watching, right?
Right. Working under pressure, you know, performing under pressure. It's all very stressful. Now, John, are there any stories or conversations you've had with our athletes that you find especially memorable or inspiring?
To me, Chui is the most remarkable athlete that I has a personal
connection with.
Yeah. Before entering the primary school, she already knows many styles of swimming and is very skillful. Unfortunately, she got some disabled condition. Therefore, she came to us, and then after the training, she got the medal in the last APG, and she was. At that time, she is the youngest medalist in APG. I'm very touched when she stand on the medal stage. She is now 14 years old, just after the birthday, and I'm sure that if she keep training and keep, she'll have a good performance in the coming future.
Now, with the game coming closer and closer, the general public will be able to watch live coverage of the Paris Paralympics on RTHK again this year. So how much do you think this means to our athletes, and how effective will it be promoting the sporting spirit in the community?
Thanks for RTHK that doing the broadcasting in last APG. Not even the athletes, but also for us, we feel that we are all together, just like the same time, same pace. On the other hand, the people in Hong Kong, although through the direct broadcasting, they will have the same feeling, just like what we feel in the venue.
The excitement of being live.
Yeah.
Okay, so apart from live broadcasting, media coverage is also very important as it enables the masses to learn more about athletes. So do you think there is sufficient reporting on local para-athletes at the moment? And what measures will be implemented to increase public awareness?
In those days, we started our Paralympic movement is already 50-something years ago. As time goes by, there are many famous athletes, Barry Zhang, Zhang Weiliang, and also Soa Wai Zai. They all know. Many Hong Kong people that know their performance, their achievement. Apart from those heroes, we do have a lot of disabled athletes who are working very hard on the Paralympic movement. The support is not only to the elites, but also to the grass, or what we call the Tier B, and also the grassroots level. Therefore, I would say more support from the media is very important.
Now, there's also a professional team accompanying the delegation that mostly works behind the scenes. So how many people will be going to Paris in these supporting roles, and what are their main duties?
The most important are the coaches. Are the coaches and also the coaches and assistant. The athletes will find difficulty in performing good in the absence of the coach. And the second one is the medical team. It's the medical team. The medical team is not only the doctors, but also the physiotherapists. The physiotherapists, because after a very demanding game, maybe the first round and also semi-final and also even the final, we have to have a strong medical team to support them.
Just para-athletes who wish to represent Hong Kong in their sport, what can they do, and what are some of the challenges of discovering potential talent in Hong Kong?
After joining this association, they're eligible to participate in various sports. We started to do the recruitment at the grassroots level, what we call the interest class. They will join various different events, just like the boccia, the para table tennis, or para swimming. If they're interested, they will join the game, and after that, the coaches will take a look whether their potential is good enough. They will join what we call the Tier B. They will start a more intense training, aiming at becoming the athlete. This is a path. It's not easy, but they can have many opportunities to expose themselves or to expose themselves to various sports and to have different opportunities to develop.
Now, HKPC's vision is to build an inclusive world with splendor in para sports. So what progress has been made on this front, and especially in terms of eradicating disability discrimination?
As China-Hong Kong Paralympic Committee, we actively engaging the community. By organizing the Paralympic Day on annual basis, we actively inviting the members of community to join the events to feel what the disabled people like in attending the various sports, just like the wheelchair fencing, just like the boccia. If they have the actual experience, they will know how to support them, and they will know that how hard they have tried to participate or to compete at the international level. It's important because we do need the support from the community. I hope that they can know more to put their support in actual practice.
Well, I'm sure the best way to understand is to experience, and the more understanding, the more support from the public. So thank you very much, John, for your insights, and we wish you and the delegation all the very best at the upcoming Paris Paralympics.
Next, we're going to take you to M+, where the first major retrospective exhibition on the late I.M. Pei is currently being held. Let's see how this trailblazing architect's transcultural sensibilities laid a foundation for the contemporary world.
Inspired by the bamboo, whose sectioned trunk reaches higher and higher with each new growth, this jagged tower of steel and glass is definitely one of the most iconic features of the Hong Kong skyline. Today, I'm visiting the first full-scale retrospective of Chinese-American architect I.M. Pei, the mastermind behind this building and some of the world's most recognizable works of modernist architecture, including the glass and steel Louvre Pyramid. Born in Guangzhou and raised in Hong Kong, Pei brought a transcultural lens to projects across continents. His life and work weave together a tapestry of power dynamics, geopolitical complexities, and cultural traditions. Curator Shirley Surya hopes to showcase the different sides of the architect through 6 themed sections.
The goal here is that we don't want people to think of I.M. Pei in very simplistic terms, which is often the case. Whether it's about I.M. Pei is just about triangles, or about geometry, or I.M. Pei is just about East and West, or I.M. Pei is just the museum architect. So in all these 6 chapters, we really wanted to show him in all these multifaceted ways: society, cultural, even political. So that's why we have a room like on real estate and urban redevelopment, because people don't really see him as an architect that was dealing with the city from very early days. That's actually the first phase of his career.
As the first full-scale retrospective on Mr. Pei, any challenges you have overcome?
I think the challenge is also how to make Mr. Pei alive as a person, not just the drawings or the objects, like letters, personal letters, written both in English and Chinese, that are from the archives in China. These are worth getting with the effort because they really represent a very personal side of him.
7 photographers from Tokyo, Dubai, Milan, New York, Shanghai, Taipei, and Hong Kong were commissioned to capture images of 11 of Pei's built projects, lending a contemporary lens to his creations. To inspire the new generation, students from local architecture schools were also invited to contribute. They created 5 models depicting some of Pei's most significant built and unbuilt projects. The team behind this replica of Lu's Memorial Chapel at Tonghai University came with their own way of constructing the model after receiving Pei's original drawings.
We want to focus more on the interior atmosphere to show the rib beam and the lattice beam inside the chapel. Because the specific shape of the chapel is hyperbolic surface, so it makes it narrow at the top, and if we put them directly on the ground, it will make people hard to go through the chapel. So we need to make this huge trunk to the exhibition.
So what's your personal feeling about having this whole project done?
Architecture is called architecture instead of sculptures, means that it have connection with the site. In the original version, I.M. decided to use timber to construct this chapel, but consider about the earthquake and the typhoon condition in Taiwan, he decided to use the reinforced concrete structure at last. So this is also a response to the site, response to the climate.
I.M. Pei was well known for his museum designs, but apart from conceiving building exteriors, he also commissioned artworks and integrated them into his museum, bank, and house projects in a bid to establish dialogue between art and architecture.
One work which people won't expect is Cai Guoqiang's gunpowder painting. It really proved that Mr. Pei is not just an architect who designs a building. If you know that Suzhou Museum collects historical artifacts, but Mr. Pei, when he designed the museum, he said, "Hey, Director Museum, can you include a contemporary art gallery?" That is something he inserted as a program. Cai Guoqiang particularly made a new work for this. So it's also got to do with his friendship with Mr. Pei. So all the details of this painting really shows what he thinks of Mr. Pei as a person, someone who is the stubborn man who moved the mountain like Yi Gong Yi Shan. So this sort of thing to me is a surprise, and it's not architectural.
Pei once said, "Architecture is a mirror of life," and this showcase spanning drawings and models to videos and archival documentation certainly reflects his pioneering spirit. Delve into the genius mind of this architectural giant from now until the 5th of January next year at M+.
The acclaim garnered by Ian Pei's forward-thinking designs has solidified him as a prominent figure in the history of both architecture and popular culture.
Meanwhile, the world's top athletes are getting ready to make their mark in the global sports arena. The Paris Olympics are about to begin. Remember to tune into RTHK as we'll be bringing you live coverage and highlights of various events daily throughout the Games period.
Vibrant Hong Kong will be preempted during the Paris Olympics and Paralympics, but we'll be back very soon. Thank you for your support so far and enjoy the Games in the meantime.
Good night.